There have been complaints all over Nigeria about terrorism. And we are also calling on the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, the Director General of Police, and the DSS, that Abure is also using our bank account to fund terrorism. Because of late, Mr. Peter Obi has been trying to unify the party. Mr. Peter Obi has been, on top of the situation to unify the party. But Abure kept all these things to himself. The Fidelity Bank account, 41,500, 52,398. Zenith Bank, 1213, 704059 should be investigated by the authorities. This is where foreign donors donated money for Labour Party, which they are now using to fund the stabilization project of Nigeria, to cause violent overthrow of civil administration, and also to fund terrorism. I repeat, Fidelity Bank, 41,500, 52,398. Zenith, 1213, 704059. These are the accounts that Abure is using to fund terrorism, and that must be investigated. And we're also calling on Mrs. Olushi Okwara, the treasurer of the Abure faction, to provide detail of this account. We beg her to provide it to Nigerians. All of you will be shocked at the manner of people Abure transfer money to. And what exactly is that money meant for? Were they received for? Do they bid for any contract? Because where you are transferring 100 million to an individual, what for? They were just trying to do that to destabilize Nigeria. That is function of Abure. Because I don't see any reason why a president candidate that is having issue with a faction and trying to say, okay, let us come together. You, Abure, will now say, no, you don't want any peace in the party. It was because he's profiteering. So we are going to exonerate Mr. Obi from all this. He is not part and parcel, but Abure and Ojukwu, Clement Ojukwu, they are the brain, behind it for funding. So I will also plead for the police to protect that woman, Olushi Okwara, because once this press statement is out, she might be silenced. Because we knew what is going on between them now. She's ready to provide information to Nigerians so that at least we can have peace and stability in Nigeria. On the issue affecting Nigerians, it will not be good for us to just keep our mouth shut and feel unconcerned about the plight of other Nigerians, even including the speaker here. And thus, I want to address you today on those critical issues facing our nation as the National Public Secretary of Labour Party. Nigeria is confronted with pressing challenges, notably the looming specter of hunger and recent revelations like the AFCC disclosure about financial misappropriation, and if not properly managed, could escalate to what we don't imagine. Hunger is on the land we all know. Recent revelations, such as AFCC declaring Mrs. Emefiele and 3 others wanted for allegedly conspiring with Mrs. Emefiele concerning whose sum of money belongs to the federal government is condemnable. And one other disclosure also about a former deputy governor of Federal Bank, who we were told took $300 million of Nigerian money to buy shares for some person in Polaris Bank, Titan Bank, and Union Bank. We are aware that the DSL was interested and organized issue in how the money was raised by the Titan Bank to acquire Union Bank, which has become inflated. Also, some churches were accused by the CBN private investigator, Mr. Jim Obaze, of sponsoring ring terrorism to the tune of 30 billion. Are we going to continue like this? The former Accountant General who was accused of stealing 100 billion, has his matter in court back and forth, and nobody knows what is going to happen. Urgent attention is therefore needed to avert further escalation. While capital punishment for such crime through executive order could be a deterrent fostering accountability. Labour Party believe if there is a capital punishment for this crime through executive order, maybe Nigeria will straighten up and people will not be stealing Nigeria money. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, yes, he's the president, but we know he's not the creator of the problem. Former President Buhari has been spending 95% of our income to service debt, and this is known to all Nigerians. Therefore, President Bola Tinubu, why not solely responsible, bear the duty of finding lasting solution? During Obasanjo, over 16 billion was spent on electricity and power, but nothing, $16 billion, but nothing was had. Who collected the money? During the same administration, 300 billion was spent to do turnaround maintenance for our refinery that are still on their ground zero. Those who collected government money and failed to execute the project need to be executed, because Nigeria needs to stop corruption. And there is nothing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot do to stop the uprising, because people are hungry, not because of a fault of his own, but he doesn't have a choice. He's the president, and he must stand up to the occasion. President Tinubu should order that any kidnapper or corrupt person arrested need to be executed. Kidnappers who are raping school children, threatening to marry them off, are criminals, and they are not supposed to be put in any police cell. The current administration must address the management of funds in the previous administration, exemplified by their left financial improprieties. Swift legal action are essential, reflecting a commitment to justice and deterring future occurrences. If anyone engages police in a gun duel, such a person should be tagged as an economic saboteur and should be killed instantly. Those caught stealing our crude oil should be bombed and killed inside such vessels, because they are economic terrorists and saboteurs. President Tinubu should know that this uprising could snowball if urgent steps are not taken, because Nigerians are hungry. We advocate decisive action against corruption, proposing capital punishment, punishable by death, for kidnappers and corrupt individuals via executive order by the president, to beef up the IGP, DSS, and AFCC power. The rising threat to citizens demand stringent measures to ensure their safety. The rising tide of corruption and kidnapping and threat to school children necessitate stringent measures. We also condemn the APC attempt to shift blame on opposition party for the recent protests against economic hardship, as the like of Kenneth Okonko, Dele Famoruti, and Aisha Yusuf, who are parading themselves as Labour Party members are not our member. We urge security agencies to effect their arrest over the statement and conduct against the Constitution, the Nigerian state, and the president. They all should be arrested for treason felony, which is punishable under the law, because any statement they made is on their own and not on behalf of the Labour Party. Therefore, it is irresponsible to accuse opposition party, especially Labour Party, for any misdeed of this fellow, because they are on their own and they know what to say at the right time, and they ought to know what to say at the right time or what not to say at the right time. Therefore, the ruling party must focus on addressing this issue rather than deflecting responsibility. As we know, the president is not at fault for the current trend of endemic corruption, but we believe he should be able to end the corruption. We urge President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to tackle corruption head-on, as failure to do so may lead to widespread unrest. The power to save our nation lies in his hand and that of Nigeria. He must be on the side of the people and not on the side of the oppressor. I repeat, the president must, as a matter of urgency, be on the side of Nigerians. When these executive orders are made, let us see those who will go on air to criticize the president. All of them should be arrested. Because when you are stealing Nigerian money and Nigerians are dying in droves, the president of Nigeria is the president over all Nigerians. He's not the president over few Nigerians who have correctly enriched themselves to the detriment of other Nigerians. So we are imploring the president to sign an executive order so that the IGP will now be able to carry out summary execution for any bandit that engages police in any gun duel. When kidnappers engage police in a gun duel, they don't need to arrange them in the court. All of them should be arrested and killed immediately. The Navy, once any vessel is caught stealing our crude oil, these are the economic saboteurs, they should inform the Air Force to bomb the vessel and not the occupant. I trust Nigerians. The day this executive order come into force, just like during the Buhari Egbon era, I know corruption will definitely come to an end in Nigeria. Thank you very much.